Right, a very good morning. It's the 15th of December 2023, the half of the month. That is actually the last month of the year, and also a lot of things that are happening. We'll be really discussing them here. And this is the Kokoliriko show that comes every Monday to Friday. My name is Federick Dramadri. I'll be taking you up to the hour of 10 minutes to 9 a.m. Actually, that will be really pushing us to the news in Lugbarati. That will be brought to you by Feta Emmanuel and his team there. And remember, there's a lot that we'll be having with you on current affairs, and also not really moving further. We welcome you, each and every person that is watching us right now from Arua District, Arua City, Terego District, Madio Kolom, not forgetting those from Maracha, Koboko, Yumbe, and Obonge. That I think things are going well that side, and also I appreciate that you are logged into the television channels, and we are live on YouTube and also Zuku and many other platforms that we have. That is where you'll be able to get us. And also those who are watching us from Moyo, Juman, and Obonge, we shall thank you very, very much for catching us live right now. And also those from Pakwach, not forgetting those from Zombo, and those in Nebi municipality and Nebi district at large, and also those from Langwa and Cholsa regions. We say thank you very, very much for catching up with this show. And those from the eastern part, that not forgetting those from Moroto, those are from the districts of Soroti and the city itself. I appreciate your coming in, and also really being part of this show every day, that we always do it with you. And those from Hoima, eastern, western, and also not forgetting those in central, that is a Kampala metropolitan area, we say thank you very, very much. And we're glad that you are part of this show every Monday to Friday, and we'll be taking you on different issues that are at our table, and also those that will be coming on our way. Remember, the last batch of the troops, and I mean the UPDF troops, are already in the country, and that means the Ugandan troops have all been brought back. That is from the Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo, where they were under the East African Community forces to really do a lot of things in evicting or flashing out the M23 rebels, and also the ADF rebels that were actually giving a lot of hard time to the government of the Democratic Republic of Congo. I will be moving to other stories, including those that are local here. And remember, yesterday there were a lot of issues that were happening from the grassroots. Talk about the city here where we are located. And for those of you who actually don't know where this television station is, we are located on Weatherhill Park Lane. That is plot number really 39. That is on Weatherhead Park Lane in Arua City, and this is where you are able to get the station here. And if you have any business that you want to do, you can easily be able to come to this station on Weatherhead Park Lane. But also, most importantly, you can easily get to engage with the management through the official email address, that is West Nile TV station at gmail.com. That is where you can be able to address your concerns, your concepts for adverts, and also many other things that you want to do with the television. And that's where you can be able to get them, and show many other things that are still happening across the globe. Remember, there are so many missing persons that Tanzania has said have been really trapped into the Gaza war, and they have announced the second person that was missing to be one of the students who has actually been announced to be dead currently. And this in that war, and that's where really a lot of people are mourning the death of some of these students because really they are not a part of the conflict, but they found themselves already caught up in the conflict. That is one thing that is actually happening in our neighbors, that is Tanzania, but also a number of issues that are happening from Democratic Republic of Congo, much as the troops for Uganda have been retrieved or retracted back from that conflict. They have actually said their recall or their withdrawal is actually prematurely done, where they have not been able to integrate the communities with those who have actually given up in the war. But also talking about those who have been able to, who have not been able to give up. They are having the arms, so the disarmament has not been done, which is said to be very, very unfortunate when they have not actually completed their mission. But also another story that is coming from DRC is actually clearly indicating that DRC is also seeking for help from UN and ahead of their elections. Okay, remember UN had said they will not really be able to put the observers there because the press, actually it was EU that said they are not going to put the observers to really bear witness in the elections because of the hostile environment provided by the government of Democratic Republic of Congo. And this is one thing there that is actually happening. But now we have seen that there's really an urgent call for UN to actually move to assist in the monitoring of elections in Democratic Republic of Congo. But still in Uganda, you realize that so many things are happening, including the different portals that have been opened up, including that of the investors, which has been launched official. And the president has actually cautioned against bribery. That has been one of the biggest issues cited in corruption, especially among the MDAs, the ministries, departments, and also agencies that are dealing with these investors directly. And according to the president, so many of these investors have been really trying to bribe the ministers, the commissioners, and the permanent secretaries to give them, to award them tenders, to give them platforms to do trade in Uganda. And he actually cited that some of the investors even approached him personally as a president to ask him to have a share in their companies, which he actually denied, which he actually declined to agree, saying that this will actually create conflict of interest in terms of exercising due diligence in actually monitoring some of these investors, their behaviors, and also what they are supposed to do in the country. But also, I remember you should be able to be aware that just this week, around Monday, there was a very big story coming from Kitgum district about some of the officers attached to Uganda People's Defense Forces who were torturing one of the persons alleged to have stolen a motorcycle. And the 5 officers were actually filmed and put on social media by one of the citizen journalists who has not been named, and that actually resulted into the arrest of these officers, the 5 of them, and their trial started yesterday, and this will conclude by the end of this week. So meaning by today, more will be done. They have been arraigned before the court martial in Gulu, and this will be the hearing actually in Gulu, and were actually brought back to Kitgum, where they committed the offense. So the hearing is at the venue where the offense has been committed. So this will continue really up to when the judgment will be delivered. And you remember, this is one big issue here that has been happening, and many of the issues that will be highlighting here will be actually catching up with them later on. And remember, it's very, very important for you to actually be part of the journey towards really improving the society needs, or really advocating for what is actually happening, what is seen to be an abuse to human rights. And remember, torture is one grave offense in this country that the country has been actually grappling with a lot of human rights issues and so on. And many international bodies have been actually criticizing the leadership of the country in terms terms of keeping the human rights to its state that will be expected. But a lot of issues of abuses have been cited, and this has really resulted to strengthening the mechanisms to defend human rights within systems, and that is why really the UPDF has taken it up to really discipline those officers, or really to try them and also investigate further whether they really did the offense, or they will be able to accept or not. And that is what is actually happening there. But also for those of you who are really seriously there watching what we are saying here or doing on the television, you can be able to comment and share with us your thoughts about the topics or the events that are trickling in your area, and also what we are discussing here. It's very important that you be part of the journey towards transforming the lives of the society and the nation at large. As we move together, we should be able to really do it in the positive way, and make sure that your views matter, and also what you post should be really something substantive, okay, something that is able to change the narrative from going to bad or worse to a better or a fair state. And that is very, very important. We'll be taking a break from here, coming back shortly with the detailed analysis of the issues that we have at hand. Thank you.
West Nile TV, lighting up the region.
Sub your family the bigger feast this Christmas with StarTime's upgrade to Kongere promotion. Nova customers on satellite decoder simply pay 20,000 shillings special bouquet monthly subscription to enjoy smart bouquet for free. Enjoy variety of entertainment including Hello Mr. Right on Makula Chika, Kazanya Kukazanyo on Makula, animations and cartoons on Boeing, series on TLC and Star Life. So make this the unforgettable holiday. More content, happier family.
West Nile TV, lighting up the region.
All right, we are back with the narrative or the situation analysis now on West Nile Television. That is the Kokoliriko show. My name is Federick Dramadri. We are still continuing with you, and I appreciate that you are still here watching the TV show right now. And if you are not aware that there's something developing for this country right now, there is something that is going to be remembered for the history or in the history of Uganda today, and that is the Electoral Commission constructing its first ever permanent structure in Uganda that will be here at Arua City, and there will be a groundbreaking today about the multi-billion storage facility that will have a warehouse, and also that will have so many buildings, structures, offices, and so on, including a hall at that place. And this will be just at Municipal Bypass as you reach that venue. It says us around the State Attorney's office, and that's where you'll be able to get the permanent structure for the Electoral Commission. And so many dignitaries have already arrived, 3 ministers, including that of the ICT and also many others that will be able to see. And also currently we have the Electoral Commission chairman who is already in person at the venue. He arrived yesterday in the evening, and we'll be having a lot of discussions with them there, and we'll be giving you more developments or updates about how far and also how much has been injected into this project, who is the contractor, and also how long this project will be able to take, and how this will be able to actually assist in transmitting transparently, and maybe where people are able to say we are satisfied of the results. That is what we'll be able to talk about, and also what is going to be the components that will be put in this project. That's very, very important. And for you to know that most of the Electoral Commission buildings or where their offices have been put have been in rented houses. You'll be aware that these people have been shifting from one building to another, maybe on annual or on every election period, and this has been one of the issues of concern, whether their documents have been kept safe or not. That's what has been moving in the brains or in the minds of so many people. So this will be one of the first ever permanent buildings in this country, and it will be really of great importance in terms of helping the commission to do its work independently, because they have been so much into waiting for people to really accept them in their buildings, but also the security has not been really guaranteed. It has been like a temporary arrangement, rentals every time, and this, you know, paying rent is one thing that actually affects so much in terms of the money that is spent. You spend a lot of money, and if you come at the end of the year to calculate how much you've been able to spend, ideally you will be seeing that you could have actually bought land and even constructed a permanent building. See that, and that is one development issue there, and we should be able to see that happen today from the hour of 9 up to the hour of midday. That is according to the program, and we'll be having so many speeches from different dignitaries, including ministers, Electoral Commission chairperson of the region, and also the chairperson for the country, and also we'll be having the public relations officer coming in at some point, and also the local government representatives who will be in attendance. And this is open to media. That is the most important thing. Where you have not been able to go to the venue, you'll be able to really get maybe updates on this. And also in the subsequent news bulletins, we'll be having that there at 7 p.m. on Nilecast. That will be really the news there. You'll be able to get that live today, and I hope you'll be able to really get more and really get informed on all those kind of developments that will be taking place there. So the whole team of the Electoral Commission, the whole country is really having their eyes put on West Nile. This will be an office for the region, and it will capture a lot of data here and there. And also more on the updates that we have here that we did not highlight earlier. Remember, there will be 120,000 jobs created for the young people during the census for 2024, which is coming up next. And this was revealed by the director, Yubos, which was there during actually the inaugural function of the launch of the population census by the president there at Kololo Ceremonial Grounds. You remember 2 days ago, before that was actually launched. And the opportunities will be targeting the IT literates and also those who completed senior 6. So if you went to advanced level of education, you are really one of the persons that they are looking at that will be employed in this. And you remember that so many people have been lagging behind in terms of getting employment opportunities. So this will be a temporary employment that will be able to get in maybe 2 or 3 months when you are contacting the census. And also more on the updates, remember another digital platform has been launched in Arua to cater for the West Nile region for the young people, and this was spearheaded by Palm Corps, and this is in conjunction with the local governments and also many other partners there. This will be able to address the issues of unemployment and also linking farmers to different markets. And this is in conjunction with I Know Farm that has been able to develop that app, and this is expected to benefit over 50,000 persons, including farmers, including the young people who are seeking for jobs, including linking marketeers, okay, those who are marketing other people's products. That is also one opportunity for them there, and many other issues that are actually moving around. And remember that showmen touching issues are actually moving around the globe, and this is in line with what is actually happening in other countries. Remember, Nigeria is one of the countries that has seen its economic growth target actually not reaching even 4%. Much as Uganda is talking about 5.5, now moving to 7%, Nigeria is still grappling around 3.5%. This is due to limited market space, limited opportunities for the farmers, okay, and also looking at the land is actually not really fertile enough to grow food crops that are so much into cost that can really easily actually attract a lot of money. And you realize that World Bank has actually cautioned the country leadership to actually move away from subsistence farming to really commercialized farming, and this will be only done when the country moves towards mechanization of agriculture. And remember, Nigeria is one of the agricultural countries that has seen its economic growth moving forward through really agriculture, much as the arts sector, talking about the sale of the comedies, a lot of entertainment that is actually putting the country forth above many others that are in Africa. Okay, that is what is actually happening there, but also many other issues that are happening. So if you come to Uganda back, a number of issues are coming in terms of human rights abuses. I'm talking about the scenario that actually happened in Kitgum district 3 days back. So you realize that these 5 officers that I talked about who have been committed or arraigned before the court-martial have actually, the officers were found beating one of the persons suspected to have stolen a motorcycle, a Bajaj motorcycle, and he was handed over to the army instead of taking him to the police station by the LC3 chairperson of one of the sub-counties there. But if you look at the way this suspect was handled, was as if they wanted to kill him. And the beatings were termed to be torture because of the wounds that have been created on this person, but also the way he was actually now briefing, as if he was going to brief his last. and he was actually rushed to the hospital to recover. So he's actually under treatment as these trials start, and this is what is actually happening now. Remember, there were a lot of issues about human rights violations. Human rights defenders have always criticized the government's move towards really defending human rights, because most of them have blamed the government of actually infringing into their rights and also restricting civic space. And also, if you look at what most of the human rights defenders have actually said, is that once you come up with some of the issues, pertinent issues that are actually affecting the society, that are really maybe sometimes in the fault of the state, especially the police, or maybe the state organs, talk about the military, talk about the police, talk about many others that we may talk about, or leaders even including some of the people in the communities. Sometimes people really overbeat their children, sometimes people mistreat the children in terms of overworking and so on. Now, when these persons said to be the human rights defenders come out, sometimes they are threatened, sometimes they don't feel like whatever they are able to come up has been responded to, and this is coming up from that point. And if you remember the situation of Zoka Forest, the National Forest Reserve that is in Ajuman district, that has been really over time depleted, and you see the civil society, especially the friends of Zoka, that have been in the forefront of saving the forest cover, have been really targeted by so many people. And the spokesperson, or the person who is behind that friends of Zoka, has been able to come out and said they have been intimidated. Sometimes his home is under threat. Many times they look for him, and he receives a lot of threats. That is Mansour William, who is actually the main man behind the Friends of Zoka. He has actually criticized the state organs for not allowing the civil society to save the environment, and also really to continue protecting the image or the human rights of what he terms as the people who are actually suffering in the hands of the human rights violators. So the officers have been tried, and this will end by maybe Saturday or Sunday. We'll be able to give you more updates about that. So the issue of torture, I think it has actually reduced among the military officers, among the police officers. If you look at the countrywide torture cases that have been reported in within the current year, they are seen to be minimal, maybe because of the strategies that government is actually trying to lay. And remember the communication by His Excellency Yoweri Museveni Kaguta in his July address, that if you are an officer serving in either military or talk about UPDF, talk about the prisons, talk about many others that you may talk, and also the police, once you are caught as an individual maybe torturing someone, you will face it as an individual, and that's what is currently happening. And it has brought calm and also reduced the cases of torture, the cases of violation of human rights. It has reduced it a bit, and if you look at the cases right now, they are actually minimal, and that is the beauty of that directive that has been put by the president. And this is in line with the accelerated efforts of the government to ensure that human rights violations are reduced, and also the country is actually seen to be friendly to the people or the citizens or the people who want to really come and venture into different investment opportunities here in this country. And remember, this is not only to the state organs, but it also comes to the citizens themselves. Many people do not really appreciate that there are laws that exist. And because of appreciating the role played by the emotions, okay, or the emotional efforts that you put, you will realize that many people maybe their emotions tend to override what their feelings will be like, and you realize that many people find themselves going against the laws of this country. They find themselves already actually moving away from what they are supposed to do. So it affects what is termed as the human rights defense, or maybe what will be termed as a human right violation free nation that will be having. And many other issues that are happening, the issues of gender-based violence have been really also really attributed to this. Many times people feel like maybe the other partner should be the one doing everything in the home, or others feel like abusing a partner is the rightful way they can ever do. Sometimes the issues of depression, sometimes the issues of stress come in this kind of scenarios where somebody abandons their family. Is actually really against the right, the UN conventions or of human rights, and also really what we should be able to do. But also in terms of a response, we should be able to really report some of these cases. The social media has actually made it easy, and I appreciate that the country has been able to embrace technology, where a case or a video has been circulating, it has gone viral, you see responses coming immediate, and the persons who are seen to be violating the rights of others, the response seems to be quick. Because this has not taken like 3 days or 4 days that you see UPDF swinging in action and also coming to identify the officers. I appreciate that effort, and also we should be able to really say thank you very, very much in terms of now the security and also the response towards cases that have been reported that are of importance. Okay, that is what is actually happening in Kitgum district, and that should be sounding a warning to other officers, other leaders, other people who may be planning to fall suit in this kind of things that are happening. So it's very important, a very good move that the UPDF leadership has been able to take it. Well, let's leave it there to the judges that will be really hearing and also evaluating the proceedings there. Sure, we'll be getting a detailed analysis when the court ruling will be done, and that's what is already taken place there in Kitgum district. But also in other parts of this country, remember the president was in passion launching the digital platform for investors to actually channel their the challenges, their problems, and also their concerns or complaints to the ministries, and also special the app that is being developed by the State House Investigations Department, and this is able to address the concerns of the investors, especially the challenges they find in approval of their directives that they are supposed to actually, or their documents that will be able to okay them to do investments in the country, and also the issues of extortion, bribery, and also erroneous awarding of certain contracts. This is what is actually happening now. It is not only for investors, but also it will be able to help people who are dealing in any procurements to really get responses, and also the different organizations will be able to also get immediate responses in terms of that. So this is able to expected to curtail the issues of corruption in the Investments Authority Department, and also many other departments or ministries that will be able to have investors coming into their lines. Remember, investors are of different caliber, those that are in health, that are in education, that are in different ministries. They talk about also agriculture. So those are really the important things that are already happening. So investors should be now coming freely, knowing that there is a free chance for them now to trade, and also the bureaucracies that have been witnessed in the platforms, or the time that is given for them to actually do a lot of documentation, the issues of, if you remember the time when there were some people who assumed that they were from the ministry, and they sat in one of the ministers' boardroom and started asking for money from investors, and who were actually arrested. If you remember that story, this will be able to actually stop those kind of scenarios that will be happening. So this is one move that is actually a step forward by the State House Anti-Corruption Unit that we have in this country. So, and if you look at that, the president himself, that is His Excellency Yoweri Museveni Kaguta, has come boldly to say we don't want these issues of extortion, bribery, and also the issues of delayed approval of investors' documents or verification of investors' documents should stop. And those who will be involved in that kind of action or act will be really dealt with decisively. Okay, the term is decisively, without any compromise. So that will be one of the issues that will be happening once you are actually got live, maybe engaging in corrupt tendencies in as far as concerning the issues of investors is concerned. And that is what is happening there at the National Theatre that was there in Kololo ceremonial grounds. And you remember that this is not the first time the issues of corruption have been cited in terms of investments, in terms of also even those who are doing procurements. In local governments, it's countrywide that witnessed that many times people don't want actually to do jobs that they are employed in, or maybe do their work that is given to them without even any coin. Okay, instead of waiting for their salaries, they want to actually get money in a dirty deal that will be able to give a leeway for somebody to take maybe the job or the opportunity without even scrutinizing whether this is the best person. And that's why we've been able to see that some investors do not even celebrate the first birthday or the first year of the investment in this country. Some of them do not even get Christmas doesn't get them here just because they have been able to come in a wrong way. They have not been able to actually be the rightful persons to do the investments in such a department or ministry. And you realize that this trickles down to the incentives that we give to these investors. Once we give them really tax-free environment, free land to invest, and also because of those so many incentives, you realize that somebody comes and trades for 1 or 6 months and says that the business is not thriving, and goes back with the profits that he has been able to collect within the 6 months. And this is one way they have been actually cheating on the government. So this with this platform, I hope that we'll be able to track these investors. We'll be able to actually also follow them keenly and what they are actually doing on ground. And you realize that some of these investors do not actually follow up the procedures of the EIA. That I mean the environmental, social impact, social risks and impact assessments that will be actually coming with the investments that they do. So it will be able to address those kind of gaps. So we should be sure that whichever investor that is coming to our areas, especially the communities around these areas, we should be able to be observant and see whether they are doing the rightful things. Some of these investors come in the names of investment, but they don't actually do the rightful things they had been allowed to do. So that's what we should be able to do generally as citizens in this country, as even the investors themselves. Follow up the things you are supposed to do keenly. You should be able to also be able to transparently account for whatever you have been able to do. In case you are living, live in the best way. Live the environment the way you got it, or even make it better, instead of living it in a devastating way. Okay, we have been able to see that some investors come in the names of investment, but you realize that you find them on the streets selling on the roads, by the roadsides and so on, doing a retail trade, which is contrary to actually what they were supposed to do. So these are things we should be able to employ our leaders, we should be able to employ the community to be observant about. Are these rightful investors as claimed at the time they are coming into the country, or they are actually these briefcase investors who are not really doing the rightful things? That's very, very important for us to also assess them, much as we may not have the mandate to communicate about them. So it's one thing that we should be able to do. But also the country should not be able to regulate or really have increased supervision about the investments that have been done. Instead of just going for barazas or just going there once in a while, we should be able to have local governments taking up the lead in also seeing that whatever is invested is actually monitored. Some of these people might come with the ill intentions, so we should be able to follow them keenly and see what they are actually doing throughout. Because we have seen reports about some of the people who came into this country were actually killing birds silently. Okay, that is one thing we should not be able to see it repeating itself. We are all aware that tourism through this birding and also many other things is what is actually driving the country economically stable, making it stable now. So if you have people who are coming in the names of investors, but they turn to be the people who are shooting birds, it's very, very unfortunate. Very, very unfortunate, and we should be able to really look at that. Very, very important, with double eyes. I mean, by with double eyes, and also have really monetary skills expedited, and many people who are in the local governments should be now able to really have that mandate to also oversee some of those kind of things that we should be able to really appreciate, and also be able to do it together with you there. Let's take a break from here. When we come back, we'll be able to move to other issues that we have on table. Thank you.
West Nile TV, lighting up the region.
Serve your family the bigger feast this Christmas with Star Times upgrade to Kongere promotion. Novel customers on antenna decoder simply pay 16,000 shillings per bouquet monthly subscription to enjoy basic bouquet for free. Enjoy variety of entertainment including Hello Mr. Right on Makula Chika, Kazanya Kukazanyo on Makula, animations and cartoons on Boing, series on TLC and Star Life. Even better, we have added all your favorite local channels. So make this the unforgettable holiday. More content, happier family.
West Nile TV, lighting up the region.
Right, welcome back from that commercial break. Earlier on we were talking about the issues of the new digital platforms that have been created by different partners. One was we talked about the one by State House Anti-Corruption Unit that is there to address the issues of investment, where investors have been actually complaining about the delayed delivery of reports and also approval of their documents. Sometimes people need money fast before they approve some of these things. Sometimes people need shares in the companies that are coming to invest in the country, and so this has been really created to address some of those concerns. According to actually Edif Nakalema, the head of the State House and Corruption Unit, she said that this would be able to address some of those gaps, but also looking at many other issues. Remember, we also talked about the issues of the digital platform that has been created by the partners, that is I Know Farm and also Palm Corps, that are going to help our farmers get really a lot of investment opportunities, get market for their products, but also employ some of these young people, especially those who have come out from school, to be able to link them with the companies that need maybe employees from this region. But also you realize that what is actually happening is many of these platforms have been created. So how do we utilize them? And that is one thing that we should be able to look at. But also we need to educate people about some of these platforms, that they are available, because really when these applications are there on maybe the Google app stores and so on, many times people do not know their need, or really why they are there for, and what they are meant for. You see, we need to create a lot of awareness about them before really we just keep silent about them, so that people are able to benefit from them. And there's already 55 billion Ugandan shillings that has been injected by the Danish government, and this will be moving into addressing the issues of sexual reproductive health in West Nile and Lango sub-regions. And this is after really seeing that there is high case of HIV prevalence among the young people in these two sub-regions. Remember, West Nile is actually on the top, with the Rural City actually on the lead, and this is what is actually happening. And this will be able to move to some of the refugee hosting districts, and the project is up to the year 2027, and it starts from 2024, which is January this year, this coming year. But also remember, over the week we talked about so many opportunities that are tailored towards improving or acquainting the women in terms of equity. We're all aware that the financial inequalities has created a lot of panic in this country in terms of women complaining about the rise in cases of gender-based violence. This is because men who are actually said to be the heads of the family, once they have money, they actually don't want the women to progress. Or in case when maybe a woman has an avenue to increase on her income level, the man tends to ride over and actually reduces the morale of some of these women. Remember, there was the launch of the project that is GROW, that is generating growth opportunities and improving the enterprises of the women who are developing in this country. This is shortened to be the GROW project that is launched in the country. It was launched in the month of July, and it has been regionalized. Sensitizations have been kicking off at every region. For Western region was 2 days back, and yesterday was in Gulu. And in this is a World Bank project that has come, actually a grant from World Bank, and part of this money will be loaned to the women who have businesses, and also part of it is a grant which has been mixed up in that same 217 million US dollars, an equivalent of 850 billion Ugandan shillings, which will be going into communities, and every district is expected to have this money utilized. Okay, so those women who have those small enterprises, maybe you are doing your salon work and so on, even the enterprises that are having men in them but they are led by women, 51% of it has women share. That is where the government will be able to inject this money, and it is at an interest of just 1% per annum, and that's where really people will be able to get a lot of entitlements. So I have a guest with me here, that is the retired Commissioner Peter Dibele. Will be moving with him on this livelihood interventions. We have seen government injecting a lot of monies into improving the life of the people. And we've seen really many people not really picking it up, much as a few have been able to testify that they have been able to change their lives. Up to now, they have been able to actually maintain the businesses that they started from the few little seed capitals that government has been able to advance to them in terms of, in forms of grant, in forms of loans. Talk about the youth livelihood, talk about web, talk about disability grants, so many of them that we may mention, including now the Myoga, the PDM, the Tandikwas that came, the Presidential Institute for Banana, and many others that you may mention. And these have been really for the last couple of years, over 37 years now, that have been rolled out. But what is the impact? Why is it that we are not really seeing a change in society generally? Why is it that individuals are seen transformed, but the society is not being transformed? What is going on wrong? This is where we're tapping into. Maybe let me introduce my guest again. This is the commissioner, retired Commissioner Peter Dibele, who is with me here at the studios. Maybe Dibele, you're most welcome.
Thank you very much, moderator.
Okay, I took a lot of time introducing most of those interventions because they are all related to livelihood. Okay, that's why I did it like that. Maybe let's start it from there. How many of these livelihood interventions that government has rolled out do you know of, and how have you been able to see the implementation at the grassroots? Yes.
Well, thank you very much, moderator, and all the staff of West Nile TV. Thank you very much for hosting me again this morning, although it was at a short notice.
True.
But some of us are always ready there for you to come and talk to our people. We need to talk to our people about all these background interventions you have given. There is a reason for you to have given the background. But all in all, I would like to say one thing. It is there, I don't know whether item number 7 also, in the PDM, the issue of mindset. To me, I believe the issue of mindset is our biggest problem. We have set our minds very badly. especially from the time this government came in. The government came in with a very good idea of a tandikwa. A tandikwa, what does it mean in Uganda or in English? A tandikwa, edotani, beginning. So you are given something to begin with, or to start with, or just nyazakozo to help you, because you were at 0 or -0, you have been brought to a certain level, so you use that to, move a little bit ahead. Now, the politicking, I don't know whether in the whole of Uganda, but the politicking in and around West Nile was that this was political money, this was money given, from Museveni, you just eat it. And that is how a tandikwa disappeared. You tell me, those who got a tandikwa, they got the money. Really, how many years down the road? To me, I think it's more than 20 years when we got a tandikwa. What has happened? Can we move anywhere to any family who will say, maybe I progressed with a tandikwa and I built a 2-roomed house, Mabati? Can you really move to any of our villages? I want to talk about West Nile. To me, I believe it's nothing. And that was government money given out of goodwill to the people. But mindset, the mindset of our people, the mindset of our politicians, especially who go out there to tell people, that this is government money, this is Museveni money, you eat it, send the Bakanyara at Ranio. And that is a very wrong talk amongst our people. Now, it continued. It continued. It came to Nusaf. Nusaf, there was Nusaf 1, Nusaf 2, mostly for infrastructure development. At least here, with infrastructure development, you will be able to see, with infrastructure development, you will be able to see some infrastructure on the ground. You will see in the field of health, you will see in the field of schools, you will see even roads which are open, at least there, because there was a bit of strictness, although, as you have said, some of the money could have been diverted. At least something was done. Then it came to the livelihood part. The livelihood part, people were given so many items. People were given chicken, people were given, poultry, people were given goats, let me say general animals, people were given animals, and the rest of it. But how many people have progressed really from maybe 2 goats, 3 goats to 30 goats, or even 50 goats, even 100 goats? How many people? How many people out of Nusaf? Why? Mindset. All mindset. For us, we are poor. We are poor. Who is rich? We are all poor. We are all poor. So, and there was also a lot of corruption involved in it. But of course, when you give me 30 goats, I want to be very sincere, out of which, maybe out of 30 goats, 20, if not 20, almost 25 are female and 5 are male. Really, is that not a beginning? Is that not a beginning? Should we today, should this town of Arua, not only Arua, but to me I think West Nile, should we be depending on the Acholi and Lango sub-region who have been in Konyu War for 25 years to supply us with the birds, to supply us with the animals? Moderator, I want to tell you, if in a week we don't receive animals from that region, goats, name it, it is as if we have no land. And yet when you go to court, you find from the high court to the magistrates, this is nothing but land problem. What do we do with this land? We all know that land is one of the most important items for development. We know it, but are we making use of this land? Ask yourself, let me ask myself, we leaders should be asking ourselves, are we making use, or are our people making use of this land? See, at one time the president said, for him, he has managed at least to do roads, to do hospitals, to do generally, to do infrastructure. What is left now is money in the hands or in the pockets of the people. And that's why he is struggling. All this you have said is to ensure that money is in the pockets of the people. I don't know how many, according to today's what is supposed to be money in the pocket of a family. Is it $3, $4?
Yeah, it's $1. That is actual. According to World Bank, each person is supposed to have in a day 8,000, not less than 8,000. But if you look at Bank of Uganda rates, they are saying $1. That means 3,700. Now you should be having it a day.
Yeah. Now you tell me, what can 3,700 shillings do?
But even can people get it in a day?
Can you get it in a day?
Thing. Yes.
Yes. You see, I have been moving to Acholi and the Lango sub-regions. Despite the fact that these people have been in war, really they are struggling. People are making use of land. You go to Lango sub-region, people are making use of land. There is a lot of movement, commercial movement in those areas. A lot of commercial movements. They have a lot of goats, a lot of sheep, a lot of poultry. And all this, our people have to go from here to there to buy. And yet, in a number of these projects, we were given this items. We were given goats, we were given sheep, we were given dairy cattle, we were given poultry. Really, can't we grow it? And I am not sorry to say that the background of the poultry in Lango sub-region and Teso was way in the 60s. If you look at those poultry, you look at those birds, they look exotic. They look exotic. And it is our people who go and buy. Really, can't we? And there, in almost every home, there's a minimum of 10 or 20 birds. They are animals. They plant sunflower. They plant maize. They plant rice. They even have these shea nuts, which trees are plenty, which they have not even cut. They sell them. So there is a lot of movement of commercial activity, and when there is that movement of commercial activity, definitely it means there is money. There are more than 50 industries in the Lango sub-region. What is so special about those people there? And yet they came out of war. Somebody will talk to me, somebody will talk about electricity, fine. But do you need electricity so as to look after goats? Do you need electricity so as to look after chicken or poultry? Do you need electricity to look after cows? The most important thing is land. Which land now we have taken to sell? The business now is just land sale. That is the biggest business. And some people have even sold themselves up to their pit latrines, to the extent that they cannot even put up a pit latrine because you have sold away all the land. Wow. And what do you do with the money? the money is used for buying boda. And what is the return on investment of this boda? You see? So these are some of the problems, the biggest problems we have. And our people have turned to politicians. No, to me, I think the politicians have done their work. The politicians have done their work, and they are doing their work. You don't expect a politician to be moving from home to home, or an MP or a councillor to be moving from home to home. Do this, do this, do this. Are you not a human being? Were you not gifted? God gave you. God gave you. You know, once you have grown, you are 18, you have a sound mind, you have ears, you have nose, you have the brain. Can't you think for yourself? Why am I on this earth? And the only thing quickly we do, the young men, they go for women. And the women, they bring them to the homes of their parents, instead of staying on their own. But were you prepared so as to have a wife?
Okay, Commissioner, I want to just chip in and bring this question. At the time of giving these items to the people, where people actually oriented on how to actually progress with this kind of programs, maybe if you are bringing for me goats, maybe you might count on me that you have given me 30 goats. But you did not prepare me to maybe how to keep these goats. Sometimes even people don't know where to get drugs to maybe vaccinate these animals, the issues of vaccination, the issues of feeding habits and so on. Many of these things. Are these done before, or are people prepared before they receive some of these items that are given to improve their lives or maybe increase their household incomes?
Right,
let's try
right at the beginning, moderator, I did tell you. The issue of mindset. And this matter began way from Itandikwa. I have been here. I am now in my late ages. My age. I've been here. I've seen governments. I've seen the first Obote government when I was in P6. I saw the Amin regime in 79. Then Obote 2 in the 80s. Then you have Tito Lutwa. Then you have the NRA, NRM, which is now NRM. But I think from 1986, there has been a very big change. Pro-people change. Pro-people change. It has been there a lot. In the field of infrastructure development, it is there. We can see it. We can see roads being tarmacked. And those which are, the others are being paved, except for this rains this season. We see tarmac. You move from here to Kampala, except that the roads have also been worn out. They are being worked on. Really,
so, coming to the question, yes.
People, as I said earlier, really, before you give something to somebody, people were being educated. Me, I've been in the political system, I've been in the government. People are educated. And you who is applying, you don't only apply alone. You compete. You see, you compete. How have you been prepared? If there are these birds, the birds were being brought, and before they are brought, they are vaccinated. And all along, you are already prepared. You have said, I can manage. Definitely, which means you are prepared. And a lot of poultry medicines were being brought. Now, even for the animals, part of the money was being used for buying the what? Buying the drugs. The thing is mindset. People just decided either to use these animals for marriage or even sell them off. Instead of multiplying them. Like for goats, goats produce 2 times a year. Really, you be given 30 goats. Won't you kneel down and say, God, thank you? Really, you don't, you kneel down and say, God, thank you. Yes, because you have already got seed capital. That one, those goats are seed capital. You can, within 6 months or even 9 months, once you have looked after these goats, you can be able to sell a goat at not less than 100,000.
Okay, we'll take a break from there, and when we come back, actually, we'll be continuing with this. We're discussing the issues to do with assessing the impact of the government livelihood programs that are here in Western region. Why is it that we continue to say we are poor? Why is it that we continue to say that government has not done enough? And yet we're seeing a lot of programs, a lot of people receiving goods, a lot of people receiving a lot of things, even including iron seats. The government has gone ahead to even start roofing people's houses. Now, what is it that you are doing as a family head, or maybe a responsible citizen in your home, in order to really do something for yourself? Let's take a break from there, and we'll come back shortly. Thank you.
I'm forgetting the name.
West Nile TV, lighting up the region.
Family the bigger feast this Christmas with StarTimes upgrade to Kongere promotion. Nova customers on satellite decoder simply pay 20,000 shillings special bouquet monthly subscription to enjoy smart bouquet for free. Enjoy variety of entertainment including Hello Mr. Right on Makula Chika, Kazanya Kukazanyo on Makula, animations and cartoons on Boeing, series on TLC and Star Life. So make this the unforgettable holiday. More content, happier family.
West Nile TV, lighting up the region.
All right, let's come back to the discussions. We appreciate that you are still here watching Western Television. This is the show that is mostly discussing the current affairs, what is happening where, and what has gone wrong. We need to get solutions to the issues. And I told you earlier, we discuss a lot of issues, and also really what we bring out should be able to transform lives, and that's why we are here with you and to share with you a lot of things here. I have the commissioner, the retired commissioner, that is Peter Dibele, who has done a lot of work for government and also has seen a lot of governments that we did not see as young people. So you should be able to learn a lot from him. We're discussing the impact of the livelihood programs in Western region. What has gone wrong? Why is it that people are not transforming their lives? Why is it that people's income continue to be stagnant? Even sometimes it comes lower. And that's where we are discussing this. We started it from the hour of 8 SAP, and we'll be taking it up to the hour of just 10 minutes to 9 a.m. where we'll have at 9 the news that will be brought to you by Mukla Lawrence. That is the news in Lugbarati, which will be there at that time. But also, it's very important for you to also share with us what your observations are in regards to the implementation, the utilization, and also why some of these programs do not see their next birthday. And that's very important for us to see how next time government should be able to plan for West Nile in order to really tackle the issues once and for all. Because really, if we continue to give people money and money is eaten, you don't get returns, how will you raise another money to be given to them? That is one thing. Should we continue to give people money, or we give people knowledge and they look for money? That is one thing which is also there we should be able to really look at in the next phase of programs that we have. And we are here with him, and maybe let's pick it from where we are really discussing. Are people really prepared enough to continue or to start utilizing these programs? If yes, what has gone wrong is the question. Yes, you can start it from there.
Yeah, thank you very much. As we had said earlier, quite a number of programs. Some of them are agricultural based, like nuts. Nuts came in, giving people, strengthening people, especially in the field of agriculture and animal industry. Nuts, under nuts, people were given seeds. People were given seeds. They even opened the land for people. People were given seeds. People were given tree seedlings, fruits, and the rest of it. And that one also, with the nuts, came in the Operation Wealth Creation. Operation Wealth Creation, together with the nuts. A lot. But if we go out, how many, if you go maybe per sub-county, how many mango trees are there? Or how many fruit trees are there? How many people can boast of fruit trees? How many people can boast of cows? How many, Frisian cows, which were given? Still today here in Arua, we are getting milk coming all the way from Lato. Yes, from Lato. And how many Frisian cows were given to people? Are they there? A number of them were even sold. When I was here, we caught some of them being taken to Congo. Wow. Said, Mama Renyachoti, I am not able. Yes, I'm not able to give. To look after. It is true that some of these animals went into wrong hands. You see, things like the Frisian cows, unless you are ready for it, because it has to produce for you milk, you have to do a lot of investment. You build a house for it. It has, and then it is it is on zero grazing. You have to treat it. But what came in also was nothing but politics. Let these things be given to my supporters. Yes, that one was there, and that is corruption. Let these things be given to those who voted for me. See, and yet that was not the intention of the program. The program was for everybody. Instead of waiting for milk from Lato in Kampala, we should be able to produce our own here. Now, a number of these animals, you have to do artificial insemination. Now, let us ask ourselves, if we move, how many people still have those Frisian cows? How many people? Are they there? In the entire Arua district also, the former Arua district, the greater Arua district, you can find maybe there are only 5 or 6, or none at all. What happened? How many of them were brought? And yet, a liter of milk here, I think it goes at either 1,500 or 2,000. A liter of milk.
Not a liter, even a cup. A cup is 1,500.
A cup.
That means it is half a
now,
liter.
If you have been looking after this animal very seriously, spraying it, giving it medicine, and the rest, you invest in it also. Because what this animal, to me, is given to you, it is a seed capital for you. Were you prepared? You said, yes, I was prepared. Now, why are you not able? And all these cows were given when they were in-calved. And immediately, they were brought in. A number of them gave birth. They gave birth. And when they give birth, there is what? Already milk. Now, what about the fruit trees? The fruit trees. Still, we have to bring mangoes. We have to bring mangoes, imported mangoes. If you go to the market now, where are these mangoes coming from? I will tell you, these mangoes are coming from, they are coming from Lira. Coming from Lira district. See? So, how many times have we gone to do benchmarking there? What is so special about those people? Now, that was nuts. That was Operation Wealth Creation. Now, when I was not here, there was the issue of Emioga. Emioga came in. There are about 18 or how many groups?
18 enterprises.
18 enterprises, enterprise groups in a constituency. And each group getting 30 million. Okay?
Apart from the one for local leaders?
Local leaders, 50.
50, yeah.
Now, local leaders, this name, local leaders, in every constituency. Can we go and check? You are supposed to be a leader, to lead by example. Can we go and check constituency by constituency here? Say like here in the city, we have 3 constituencies. East, West, and Central. And with 18 enterprises, how are they doing? Where is the 30 million investment? What are the returns? Go to Koboko, go to Maraja. What about the market vendors, fishmongers, tailors, saloonists, restaurants? Name them. Are there any persons doing well? Fishermen. Go to Madiokolo. Those who invested in goats and the rest of it. Are the goats there? And yet the land is there. So, really, can we continue to blame government?
Okay, that is a very serious question.
Can we continue to blame government? Can we continue to say that the NRM government has done nothing? Can you continue to say that Museveni should step down because he has done nothing? Surely.
Okay, those are questions to you, the viewer, okay? Those are questions that we should be able to really brainstorm and understand for ourselves. Maybe if you benefited, what is it that you can do to change the narrative of maybe if you have seen your neighbor failing in the project, what else can you do? We have seen so many people complain about unemployment, so many people complain about poverty. So these are things that we should have actually not complained about because of the biggest interventions that our government has ever done. I've never seen governments in other countries giving money, free money just like that to the citizens unless you work for it. But this is a serious matter that all of us should be able to look at. Maybe we are left with a few minutes, just like 7. So maybe, Commissioner, let's see what can government be able to do, or what is the way forward? What can be done in order to change the situation? We have seen, you talked about the biggest problem being attitude and also mindset. And we have seen under PDM, this has been one of the pillars. Despite this being an independent pillar, which is funded, actually financed for the leaders responsible to go and change the mindset of the people. We have seen the PDM even going into mess, where people are drinking these monies, people are not, actually they have shifted away from their proposals, they are tendered that they are going to maybe do fish farming, maybe do bakery, maybe do this and so on. But we have seen this money is also being mismanaged. You have had those testimonies of people after receiving the money. You saw the video from Karamoja sub-region where a woman got the 1 million and decided to buy bananas and tomatoes and said people should come and step on them. You saw all those videos. So that is what is actually lacking. You talked about the mindset change, which has not also been picked up much. Yes, it was one of the pillars under Paris development model strategies that government has brought new. So what is next?
Yeah.
What can we do?
Yeah, thank you very much. A government worth being called a government must plan. And every 5 years, the government comes up with a what? With a program, with a manifesto. Now, this time, the president said, okay, if maybe these monies we are giving are far away from the people, why don't we take it now nearer to the people and give them bigger amounts? That is the PDM, Paris Development Model. 100 million per parish. And families getting 1 million shillings as a startup, or what we call the seed capital. Now you are telling me a story of how in a Karamoja. Well, we may excuse them. We may excuse them.
But even here in Arua, you see people drinking.
Yes.
You see people going for.
And when we talk about Arua, when we talk about Arua, we talk about the Great Arua.
Yes, the
not only the
West
city,
Nile.
the districts in West Nile. Yes, I went somewhere. I was mentioned. We went for a funeral in Pakwach, and a priest was able to declare to us that while we are talking about this PDM. It is already separating families. Men are marrying more women, breaking the matrimonial vows. Women are going around saying, okay, I think I need a dress for weddings, buying a gomsi for weddings. I need to buy, what did they call it? They call it what? Nyolber. Nyolber means it is good to produce. Meaning, you know, there are these big saucepans. Women buying, but are those the priorities? Was that what you talked about, what you said? So all these things, to me, I think we also as political leaders, and for us when we talk about political leaders, we always refer to the president, his cabinet, and the MPs. No, that is not the, we at the political level, right from LC1, we stood in front of people saying, we are going to give you service. You vote for me, I will do the work for you. So what are we doing? What are we doing? Because when it comes to PDM, it is the LC1s. When these people get this money, do you follow? As an LC1 chairman, do you follow? As an LC2 chairman, do you follow? As the committee members, do you follow? As the councillors of the area, do you follow? Do you see who have you really, if I go around and ask maybe a councillor at LC3 level, whether he has a list of those people who got money in his parishes, I want to tell you, he may talk of only 5 or 6.
Because he knows them at his home.
At his home, but he does not know them. Now, are we doing our work? We are very quick in blaming MPs. But now, really, what are we doing here at the grassroots level? Because this money now comes, to avoid the corruption, this money comes from Bank of Uganda directly into the accounts of the PDM. Straight away. It goes there. The committee members are there. Do you follow? Because these are SACCOs. What is the meaning of a SACCO? SACCO is a company limited, you see, by shares. So do you check yourselves that we are getting this money and are our people making investments and are there returns on these investments? So let us blame ourselves for failure not to do what we are doing. Now, on the other side, I also want to talk to when I talk of politicians, all on both sides, those of us who may be wanting to get into government, this money is government, it is money for Uganda government. It is our money out of our taxes. And if any money is being brought now, as you say, is it group? Is it called?
Yeah. Grow.
If it is being brought for everybody, for all Ugandans, regardless of his or her political belonging. So why don't we all go? Why don't we move together and make sure our people develop? What special thing is it that when you come, you think your party comes into power, that it will do better? If you did not create a base, you need to create a base. Come with us, let us be together, let us tell the people that, look, this is money of government given to, it is our money given to us, let us make use of it for our social transformation.
Okay, yes. Commissioner, we are time up bad, and also maybe I'll be having your last words on this. And this has been really one issue which is actually affecting so many people. But also, if you look at all these interventions, government is actually doing them in good faith to make sure that people transform, people are able to be economically really up to date. So that next time, even if the current president is not there, another one comes, people will not be really beggars. We've seen people voting for not the rightful leaders because they don't have anything, any alternative of earning, but rather wait for those peanuts that are given to them during campaigns. And that's one thing that is actually affecting the credibility of our elections, the credibility of our leaders who are already in offices, and where they fail now to perform. Maybe let me have your says on the last words, since we're time by now.
Well, really,
yes.
I think we have talked enough. Only that I would like to request that let this type of education be more often.
True.
If you can, we are around. Call us. Let us talk to the people on the radios, on what. Let us talk to the people because we are there at the grassroots with them. So my people, our people, Ugandans, let us utilize these interventions. They are for our good. Let us utilize them and utilize them properly. We shall use them for paying school fees, for our livelihood, for building houses for us, because you begin small, you grow through experience. So this is, to me, what I'm saying. I'm wishing everybody a happy Christmas and a prosperous New Year. Let us be there with all these government interventions. Those of us who have not got, the president has promised, next financial year, more money is coming.
Okay.
Otherwise, thank you very much,
West
Nile TV, for hosting me today.
We appreciate your coming also, and we appreciate that within the shortest time, you're able to make it. And those of you who have been following up this show, we have come to the conclusion. We have been discussing the issues of the livelihood programs that have been really rolled out by government, and how far they have been able to impact in the lives of the citizens, and what has gone wrong, what needs to be improved is what we have been discussing here with the retired commissioner, that is Peter Dibele, who is one of the active persons who has worked in government for quite a long period of time, and he's resting currently. And behind the camera, I have Dijon Pro, and also Aldo is my producer for this. So this is the Kokoliriko show that comes every Monday to Friday. Today is the last edition. Have the best of your weekend, and I will make this again next week. That will be Monday from the same time up to where we'll be able to conclude and discuss more pertinent issues. My name is Federick Dramadri. I'm out of the studios. Up next is the news in Lubarati by Kokoliriko.